Richardson. She said, today's a question mark. We've been practicing. We're going to see what happens.
Kennedy Brown, Maggie Dugan get us started on the opening tip, and the college basketball season is underway. Thousands of middle schoolers here today. You see them in the Blue Devil tops. They're ready to roll. This place will be bonkers on the first basket. The Kara Lawson starting five features the freshman Jaden Donovan, who goes right to work for her opening bucket.
And I think that might be a theme of a lot of the season for Duke. Jaden Donovan, the number 3 ranked player by ESPN in the country, the highest ranked recruit ever signed by Coach Lawson since her tenure at Duke.
Aaron Russell's lineup with Grace Towson, the senior point guard, running the show. All 5 returning starters for Richmond. Good club. With Hill operating the offense under 10. Kara Lawson noted her defense will have to be on par against this ball movement offense. Late in the clock, 3, and an air ball for Richmond early.
You see a little bit of the versatility in the Duke defense. They're long, they're athletic, they have the ability to switch on the perimeter.
Kara Lawson noted today, will Duke play where they're supposed to be? Will they be assignment-oriented because of how Richmond tests them with this offense?
When you have 4 freshmen and 2 transfers that have come in, they have to learn your system on both sides of the ball. And as you're learning, it's important to be in the right spots on offense and the right spots on defense. Duke going down low to Reigan Richardson, their senior.
Brown with the travel early. Good defense down low by Dugan.
Kennedy Brown, a staple of the Duke offense last year, the 6'3" senior. She's a transfer from Oregon State, playing in her final season here at Duke. Anchor on the defensive end, but she's a great piece of offense for them, and she has a big size advantage today.
Aaron Bussell noted the size of Brown gave Richmond problems when Duke scored 100 points in the meeting last year in Richmond.
It was no contest last year. The Blue Devils just came in and a 50-plus point win. And Coach Russell looking to better that today with his experienced Spider team.
Taina Mair, the Boston College transfer, one of the best freshmen in the conference last year in the ACC, finds Jackson. An opening miss on the Duke first 3 of the night. Richmond team off 21 wins. They love to move in transition, and a block from Brown.
There's the Richmond offense, though. If you overplay, they're going to back cut you. You have to keep your head on a swivel, and you see that backdoor cut on the closeout, but there is the rim protector taking that shot away. Kennedy Brown, she's tough down low. She's 6'3". She's going to alter shots.
Last year, too. So productive. Townsend on the pick and pop. She lost it, and a steal for Duke. Jackson running in transition. Open 3 is short. Now can Grace Townsend run the point? The senior guard draws contact, no foul, and it will go the other way. That's an element of Richmond's game that could be productive today on those missed shots.
Both these teams like to get down the floor. Here comes Grace Townsend. She gets hit hard, but there's no call by the officials. The Blue Devils get possession back.
Lone points so far from the ACC Newcomer of the Year in Donovan. And now we have an illegal pick on Jaden. Both teams feeling themselves out offensively in these first 2 minutes.
Well, those are the little things for the freshmen that they'll iron out as they go and learn to play with a little more discipline, set good screens, wait for your teammate to use the screen. There's a big learning curve from high school to college for freshmen on the defensive and the offensive end for that matter.
Now it's the veteran Richmond team driving in, and a chance for free throws here. Katie Hill, the junior, one of 5 returning starters for Aaron Russell in his 5th year. He's an Iowa Hawkeye by trade, so he loves watching Caitlin Clark and crew. But what a development at Bucknell, leading them to a couple NCAA tournaments and 2 NITs, and now off the NIT at Richmond, looking to build here in 23.
He's a great teacher of the game. He develops talent. He's a player's coach. Really enjoying his time at Richmond in his 5th season. Did great things at Bucknell. Got them to the NCAA tournament. He's in his 20th season as a head coach.
And in the town of Durham, him and his wife Molly had their first date. He couldn't remember the restaurant because he was so in love with Molly, but these two are now sweethearts and have 3 kids.
We asked him if he ever coached in Cameron. He said no, but I'd been in Cameron. I met my wife there for our first date.
She was a GA coaching college basketball at the time. And Donovan takes the extra step. 2 early turnovers for the uber-talented freshman.
You see Kennedy Brown, they like to use her in the pinch post. She's a great passer as well. She's got such a broad skill set. Donovan on the back cut just couldn't handle it. Duke gives them an opportunity to set up their full court pressure. Coach Russell telling us handling Duke's pressure is going to be really important today. They struggled with it last year. A little
Lewandowski with the step back. And Richmond with its first lead. It's the Spiders team that played Duke, played Virginia Tech in a scrimmage, also Clemson last year. And Mair with the miss. Nice hustle for the board. And it's last touch by the Spiders.
When you bring back 5 starters and your top 6 players, a lot of experience on that floor for Richmond. And you see them just get their way through Duke's full court press into the middle of the floor, the sweet spot. It's a nice step back shot. Well done by the Spiders.
That's an old school move from the senior guard. As that one rolls in for Duke. The Blue Devils leaning on Reigan Richardson in her second year out of Georgia.
And she's one of their big returnees. She's a junior, 5'11" guard. She got some good minutes last year, averaged 21 a game, and is really expected to step into more of a leadership role this season. Good hustle again. Spiders on the floor.
And possession stays here. That's Lewandowski getting on the floor. And Coach Aaron Russell said, what a fit for our system. She's showing it here in the last 2 minutes. My apologies, that's Addie Budnick diving on the floor. All A-10, first team. And now Olstrom comes in.
Addie Budnick's their go-to. She is their leading scorer. She is their do-everything. She was #1 in scoring last season, 14 a game, #2 in rebounding, 5.5, and their best three-point shooter, 39%.
Here's the grad transfer, Lauren Van Arsdale operating the offense. A turnover there. And now Duke can run. Here's Richardson taking advantage. Now this Duke pressure becomes a factor.
Well, those are the mistakes that Richmond can't afford. They have to handle the pressure, take care of the ball. Lauren Van Arsdale, she's new to this Richmond team. She's a transfer from Hampton University. Rookie of the year as a freshman in the conference. She's got a lot to offer coming off an injury, but a nice addition for the Spiders.
There's a reach-in foul on the Maggie Dugan drive, one of the team captains. And Debbie, this is what makes Duke special, making things happen.
They just get deflections, they get steals, they get their hands on loose balls, and that sets up the transition. It's a beautiful lead pass ahead to Richardson for the easy lay-in.
Richmond with 2 turnovers early against this tough Duke defense. And now an illegal pick. And a foul on Van Arsdale giving it away.
Richmond likes to use Budnick in that high post. They love to just open up the post, let those back cuts happen. Richmond shoots a lot of threes and layups off those back cuts.
Richmond will make 8 3-pointers a game, and they finish in the top 35 in the country in three-point shooting. Kara Lawson noted that in our conversation this morning.
Everyone on the roster shoots the three.
A little bit of a switching defense here for the Spiders. So Jackson breaks through it and overshoots Kennedy Brown. A turnover for Duke.
As the Blue Devils get back into their full court pressure, Spiders have handled it fairly well so far. Looking to go sideline middle. Duke takes it away, but Spiders across half court.
There's
wide
the
open three.
And Budnick missed it.
And that's the opportunity the press will give you sometimes. Wide open threes. And Richmond's a streaky shooting team. They hit the first one. Look for a consecutive ones to start to fall.
There's Mair open. And she misses. We've yet to see a 3 today from either club. Another 3, Richardson. That time she hits it.
And the Spiders are going to have to do a better job limiting Duke's second shot opportunities. That was a point of concern for Coach Russell. You got to keep them off the boards. Duke's such a great rebounding team, so athletic.
Duke's defense, #2 in the country last year, and putting a ton of pressure on Richmond early.
Coach Russell telling us it was one of the best defenses he's ever seen in his career. I mean, that's quite a compliment. There's a 3 by the Spiders, and it goes down.
Rachel Olstrom, a sophomore guard out of Auburn, Massachusetts.
You see how well Richmond shares the ball, and they run their offense with a really nice cadence. And Duke wants to be defensively disruptive and not let them play at the pace they want to disrupt the cadence.
Oh, good ball pressure and a steal for Richmond. Here's Katie Hill. She keeps running, and a block by Brown. That's her second. What a weapon. Here's Duke in transition. Richardson extends the lead. How about the transition play from the Blue Devils so far?
Yeah, and that shot selection right there against Kennedy Brown, probably not the wisest decision, and that sets up the transition play. And Duke is really dangerous in transitions. You have to be really smart with your decisions. You see the stagger screen, the curl cut, the fade screen, this 5-out motion that Richmond likes to run. Everybody's constantly moving. Duke switching on the perimeter.
Here's the mismatch on the switch. Hill down to 4. Van Arsdale late in the clock. Can't hit the 3. And the biggest player on the court, Kennedy Brown, comes down with it. You see this Duke offense starting to come to life. 4 of their last 5 after the slow start.
High screen here. Ashlyn Jackson running some point for Duke.
Mair finds Thomas, the new freshman, who hits her first career 3. Delaney Thomas out of West Virginia.
Wow, we're talking about 3 points by the Spiders, but the Blue Devils heating up from behind the arc.
And a timeout for Richmond. Opening media timeout. Welcome back to Durham. The ball movement of the Richmond Spiders has caused trouble here for Kara Lawson, who comes in her 4th season. Also noted with this club, so many new faces, the 6 new players. They want to find ways to grow together, build, and she wasn't sure what to expect during the season open.
Well, when you have 4 freshmen, 2 transfers, and you've lost your top 3 scorers from last season, you're putting the puzzle pieces together and you're learning what works, and you've been practicing against yourself for a long time. And so first game is always interesting for coaches, and they really don't know what to expect, but what she does expect from her freshmen is effort. She said that's the one thing they can control.
Wow, the ball movement from Richmond sets up Olstrom for 3. And the Spiders, we noted last season, 9 threes a game, shoot 35%. This is a strength of Aaron Russell's club.
They've done a really nice job breaking the press and creating those open 3-point looks.
Camilla Emsbo, the Yale transfer, checks in the post for Duke. That was a big question in the offseason. Minutes for Kennedy Brown and rotating down low. And a travel here. Duke commits the turnover. They're 6th.
It's Oluchi Okananwa, another talented freshman.
Try saying that name 5 times.
She had 10 points and 10 rebounds in their 1 exhibition game. She's the number 27th ranked recruit in the country. Another part of this great recruiting class. Here comes the press again.
Coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. Kara noted basically 7 players getting first-time minutes, with Emsbo also coming in. It's a challenge of getting this group together. Richmond, meanwhile, 5 returning starters. 9 of the top 10 come back. And here's Van Arsdale, the grad transfer out of Hampton. And an offensive foul. The pick there from Faye Parker, the Penn transfer.
And a lot of times the fault is not on the screener. It's on the player with the ball who does not wait for the screen to be set and doesn't use the screen. Setting and using a screen is a team effort, and they have to work together.
Oh, the 2nd team foul for Richmond. Now the driving ability of Mair. All freshman team last year at Boston College in the ACC.
You get to see how quick Lauren Van Arsdale for Richmond is. She gets around those screens, a nice offensive rebound.
So Emsbo earns the foul. Was a team captain, did not play due to injury last year at Yale, so her first full healthy season, and forcing the foul there on Faye Parker.
She's going to be a nice piece of this puzzle. She's got great size. She's a first-team All-Ivy League selection her junior year, has over 1,000 points in her career, and didn't play her senior season, so giving Duke a piece of the puzzle that's much needed. 6'5".
Richmond getting in foul trouble. That's 3 fouls in the last 30 seconds. Remember, in the women's game, free throws at 5 team fouls per quarter. It was an area Duke would love to improve on. Just 71% as a team last year from the charity stripe.
Got the horn set again. The screen away. Looking to go down low.
Here's Emsbo on an island. Spins through the double team and missed it. Look at the effort on the board from the Yale transfer.
Again, second shot opportunities. Richmond can ill afford to give Duke multiple chances to score, and they turn it into a layup. Missed that one, but they get it again.
Mair gets it back. 3rd chance, no. Little tip drill and a foul drawn. Okananwa heads to the free throw line.
Oluchi Okananwa shows that athleticism just to tenacious on the boards, and that was, 3-4 offensive rebounds, and that's what Coach Aaron Russell was a little afraid of. You've got to put a body on. You've got to push back. Duke's so athletic. You have to keep them off the glass.
Good minutes here for Oluchi, the true freshman coming in. Debbie, you noted it. Top 6 freshman class in the country. And there are some big shoes to fill with the likes of Celeste Taylor, Elizabeth Balagoon gone to graduation. There are some open doors now for Duke.
Duke had such an experienced team last year. I mean, they had a 10-player rotation. They had balance. They had scoring. They had so many talented players. So, as you said, big shoes to fill and question mark early in the seasons. We see the cross-court pass.
Nearly a steal with the clock under 10.
You see the pressure by the Blue Devils. They're in the passing lanes.
Towson gets a switch. Late in the clock. And a shot clock violation. That's a possession Kara Lawson will be happy with.
Coach Lawson loves to be disruptive on defense. She talks about it all the time, and right there, the Blue Devils disrupting the cadence of the Spiders, taking away the next pass. Great ball screen defense. Another shot clock violation.
Richmond hasn't scored in nearly 2.5 minutes.
A high screen here. Towson goes under. Going into a high-low look.
Oluchi on the drive. Nice step through, and the freshman converts.
Wow, just nice little fake middle. Takes it baseline. No help defense. Great read by the freshman.
Down to 1 second. Towson has it stripped. And a dominant Duke defensive quarter ends the first. We noted the new pieces for the Blue Devils. Well, leaning on Oluchi Okananwa.
Credit the Duke defense.
Key numbers, Duke with the 7 second chance points and taking advantage of those 6 Richmond turnovers.
Yeah. See what the Spiders do to make adjustments in this quarter. They have to keep the Blue Devils off the ball. They have to limit turnovers in the open court, and they've got to figure out a way to get through the pressure, whether it's with back cuts or drawing defenses we just saw, hitting a couple shots, get their scoring rhythm going.
Slow first quarter for Jaden Donovan in her debut. Finds Emsbo. Kara Lawson noted she was shining on the court against Wingate in the scrimmage, and Thomas has had a nice first half. 5 points.
Delaney Thomas, another freshman, St. John's College High School, number 29th best recruit in the country. Another big piece of this number 6 recruiting class. Little curl cut, not really well defended, and way too easy.
Dugan with a great shot fake and hits the free throw jumper. You can tell there's a veteran level of ball handling and playmaking here for Richmond.
No, and you can just see the player development, the ability to catch, shot fake, put it on the floor, the mid-range game.
As a former coach, Debbie, you got to love watching this Richmond team play. Ball movement, smart club.
When they get their offense going, it's a really beautiful thing to watch.
Everyone for Duke touching the rock, including Thomas. That pass is tipped, and Towson with the steal.
Great defensive possession by the Spiders. They had to scramble a little, but they made it happen. A little switch on the perimeter, creates the wide-open 3.
And Budnick missed the 3. Now in the top 20 in career scoring in Richmond. Addie Budnick, such a pleasure to watch for Coach Roussel. And now a fight for the board comes out to Dugan. And then a steal. Look at the effort of the freshman Okananwa getting after it.
I said she had 10 points and 10 rebounds in the exhibition against Wingate, but right here, you got to grab that rebound and chin it. Okananwa says, no, give it to me, and she draws the foul, gets herself to the line. That might as well be an offensive rebound. Great hustle by the freshman.
Okananwa had 3 siblings growing up, including a couple of brothers, and you can tell they tussled as kids. She's got some strength, working hard for that rebound.
Brothers usually create a sense of toughness for young ladies.
Richmond will re-enter Rachel Olstrom off the bench and give Dugan the breather. Third team all A-10 for Maggie Dugan. Now here's where Richmond has been productive, breaking this press and making things happen.
It's created open looks at the three-point line for them. They need a little bit of scoring right about now. They got to stop this bleeding, find a way to get their offense going.
Duke re-enters Reigan Richardson here early in the second quarter. And now ball pressure. Oluchi with the steal. Give her the dime as well.
Freshman is just having a great first game in Cameron.
Wow, the presence of Oluchi Okananwa coming to play. She's saying, hey, Kara Lawson, give me some minutes off the bench this year. I like it. And that'll lead to a over and back turnover here for Richmond. That's the 9th for the Spiders.
And the Spiders just not handling the pressure well right now. See Okananwa just right there in the passing lane, and she finishes that easy one at the rim. You got to step to the ball against the pressure. They did such a great job in the first quarter breaking the press. Now back-to-back turnovers.
That's 9 Duke points off turnovers, nearly matching Richmond in this first half. Jackson on the drive. What a first half for Okananwa. Give her another 3 and 10 points.
Kids in the stands love it. We've got a bunch of middle school, elementary school kids here today to see the Blue Devils play, and there's a nice take by Grace Towson. We knew she can do it. She's so quick off the dribble. One of the fastest players in the Atlantic 10.
61 career starts for Grace. That's a fun one.
She started her career as a walk-on. She's a local Richmond kid. She's from Midlothian, Virginia. She played at James River High School and earned herself scholarship and a start in this spot in the starting lineup.
Look at the second chance points, and Reigan Richardson bangs it in. So Duke is winning the battle on the boards, leading to a ton of second chances. And Richmond counter. Well, nice up and under, but an air ball that time from Olstrom.
Great defense by Reigan Richardson. She didn't give up the back cut. She defended the drive, forced that really difficult contested shot. And that's what Duke wants to do. They want to give you one contested shot, and they've been doing a great job making things difficult for the Spiders.
Meanwhile, Jade Donovan on that island is tough to stop.
This freshman class, number 6 in the country, they're mature. They're smart. They're
they look
versatile.
game ready as well.
They really do, and they play hard. And Coach Lawson big on effort, especially on the defensive end and on the boards, things that you can control as a freshman.
Kara Lawson said defensively, can we disrupt Richmond's rhythm? So far, that's been the case. 14 minutes in. Hill on the back dribble, had it lost. Nice ball movement, and that's a shot clock violation, all started by a couple of freshmen up top.
Duke's been really tough and impressive on the ball, not giving away any straight line drives. Then in the passing lanes, making it difficult. And then on the boards, giving Richmond one shot and one shot only.
Holding Richmond to 31%. As Dugan re-enters. This is a critical 6 minutes for the Spiders. All of a sudden, this game gets to a 20, 30-point difference. Hard to overcome. The Duke team that scored 100 when these clubs met in Richmond last year.
Richmond going to a 2-3 zone now. See if they mix up the defense a little bit. That'll change things up for the Blue Devils. A short corner pass.
Richardson on the miss. Townsend cleans it up.
Grace Towson listed at 5'5". I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Coming up with the rebound.
She plays bigger than her size, that's for sure. All conference guard in the A-10. Nice move, and a bank shot good for Katie Hill.
See how the Spiders can spread you out and look to attack off the dribble. Well done by Katie Hill. She's a junior. She's been there for a while. She knows the system.
This Richmond team returns 90% of its scoring, a ton of options. As the freshman Donovan bangs it around the post and loses it. Let's see if the Spiders can run here. Down 15. Nice pass. Open 3. Hill. Just short. But the offensive board, Olstrom brings it in.
They need one of those to fall. Back-to-back baskets would be
and
a big
Townsend hits the 3. There you go, Debbie. Timeout, Duke.
Big bucket for Grace Towson. Back-to-back baskets.
We've seen 3 of the 4 plays so far for the Blue Devils, including Donovan, ACC newcomer watch list. This is a talented freshman class growing up today.
I mean, they've combined for 19 points of these 30 already in this game. I mean, clearly a lot of talent coming to Durham with this freshman class, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and they're only going to get better.
Duke team with 6 new faces, 7 first-time full contributors, and they're growing on the fly here.
Well, and one of their top returners, Vanessa DeJesus, experienced upperclassman, has a knee injury and is out for the season, and she plays the 1-2 guard.
The hustle of Richmond with the steal. Wow, the Spiders are hanging around here down 12, but the travel gives it away. Olstrom with a turnover. That is the one area for Duke, if you're Kara Lawson at halftime, the self-inflicted wounds.
I'm sure she's not happy with the turnovers. 9 turnovers for the Blue Devils right now. And that's just another piece of the puzzle that you improve upon with this young team. You just keep working out the kinks, finding some discipline on offense. Richmond continuing to stay in that 2-3 zone. That allows that kick out to the corner, and bam!
Mair is an excellent three-point shooter out of Boston College. All ACC freshman team. Look at the transition play from Towson and a missed layup. Hill couldn't convert. And now Mair runs the show. This is where she's special. 5 assists a night last year for Joanna Burnaby-McNamee.
She was a great player for Boston College and transferred here to Durham and will really help run this team.
That is an offensive foul. Kennedy Brown called for it.
I mean, Mair was a member of the ACC All-Freshman team. She averaged 11 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and almost 2 steals a game. One of only 3 players in the country to do that. She's a talent.
And with Cheyenne Day-Wilson transferring to Miami, there was a point guard need. So Mair has come in, and that's a big void here for Duke. Hand on the rock, distributing the basketball.
Go with the press break again. Sideline middle, right up the middle. That's where you want to get that ball, see if she'll pass ahead.
Lauren Van Arsdale, electric, all-conference guard at Hampton, has it intercepted.
Spiders have been trying to feed the post, but the Blue Devils have done a really nice job getting their feet around. Nice.
Speaking of feeding the post, how about Brown down low?
Taking advantage of that size.
Good find from Reigan Richardson, too, who's just checked in. Van Arsdale with some of the best hair in college basketball, weaving and bobbing. Great back cut, and that's what Richmond does best. Olstrom on the delivery.
Got to be able to cover those back cuts. You cannot turn your head. As soon as you do, they're going to the rim.
And there's the 10th turnover for Duke.
There's the nice post up, get in position with the easy finish for Kennedy Brown.
And this is where the Richmond offense is fun to watch.
And that's just a great read. Richmond, they're not play runners. They are playmakers. They work together to find the best shot. They read the defense, and that's a perfect example right there.
Richmond averaged 15 assists a game last year and distributed the ball really well. How about this pass from Van Arsdale, setting up Hill, but an air ball on the 3.
Nice extra pass, but the Spiders are struggling from behind the arc.
Okananwa held her dribble perfectly for the jumper, and now forces a steal. The freshman wants 2 more and couldn't hit it. Look at this tussle down low.
I love Okananwa's motor. Gosh, she plays with so much energy.
Putting on a show for the true freshman. We talked Jaden Donovan in the open, but Okananwa double figures in this first half. Now the dribble drive. And a nice finish. Dugan wanted the foul.
That's where the open post is so dangerous. Maggie Dugan catches in the pinch, and she takes Kennedy Brown right to the rim. No help defense because it's right in the middle.
Here's Brown, who's extended her shooting range in the offseason. Bit strong there. We inch closer to the final 2 minutes of this first half. Great post up. Budnick spins and has it blocked.
Budnick knows she's got the mismatch down there with Okananwa, but she cannot convert.
Oh, those are 2 bunnies, Debbie. Big misses there for Richmond as Mair kicked it off her own leg, and another Duke turnover.
And Duke's right now just almost beating themselves with these uncharacteristic turnovers, but all part of the learning process with this young, talented team.
Richmond shooting 36%, hanging around in this first half.
Still trying to work that post up. Devils just not having it. Long range.
Good kick to Van Arsdale, who misses the 3. Kara Lawson begging her team to slow it down.
Spiders 3 for 11 from long range right now. Duke needs to control the tempo for the rest of this game. Eat into this possession right here. Get a good look at the basket.
Mair operates with 10. Calls her own number. And a fight for the boards. Brown couldn't save it. Into the cheerleaders. It'll go to Richmond.
Little fake handoff right there. Out of the pinch post. Maggie Dugan putting it on the floor with the left. Taking Kennedy Brown to the basket. That's a great read. Much needed basket right there.
Maggie Dugan, 15-point-a-game scorer in A10 play last year. She can step up in these moments. And And now Duke will re-enter a couple of starters. Richardson and Donovan come back in.
Dugan only a sophomore. She was a nice addition. She was on the A10 All-Rookie team last season, third team All-Conference. It's preseason second team this year.
I'd love to watch some A10 basketball this year. Richmond's picked 4th.
It's a great league of great coaches. And
Rhode Island features Megan McConnell, the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year watch list. Here's an open three, and Budnick hits her first.
Budnick needs to come to life a little bit here for the Spiders. It's a good knockdown, that shot for her. You're going to need a big minutes from her in the second half.
You see Richmond not afraid to shoot the three. 12 attempts. Nice drive, Richardson. Little fade away, and a tough look goes down.
Wow, she has really stepped up her game this season. That was a tough shot, and she made it look easy. She had 26 starts last season, averaged 21 minutes a game, but she's clearly going to play a much bigger role this year.
Now a primary scoring threat for the Blue Devils. Leaning on the 13 from Richardson. Final seconds of the first half. Townsend, nice kick. Van Arsdale misses the three. And that ends the first half. Good look for Richmond late, and it's Duke up 14 after.
They didn't shoot the ball very well. They did okay on the defensive end, and they get knocked down a couple threes, string them together. This becomes a very different ball game.
Getting set for this second half. 9th meeting between Richmond and Duke, and the second earliest game of the day. Addie Budnick, we noted in the open all-conference A10, a slow start, just 1 of 3 from deep, and that's her specialty.
Yeah, she's only taken 7 shots.
Budnick has to get it out. This tenacious Duke D forcing 13 first-half turnovers, and we have a tripping foul against the Blue Devils.
You see how the Spiders, they spread you out. They do a great job attacking the basket, putting pressure on the defense, spreading the floor, making the extra pass, and it was a shame that time it was mishandled because that was a wide-open three.
So Mair commits her second foul.
Spiders shot 35% from long range as a team last season. So we said everyone out there can shoot it, having a hard time inbounding right now.
A Richmond team that reached the WNIT second round.
Really came on strong towards the end of the season, winning 5 of their last 7, reaching their first semifinal in the Atlantic 10 tournament.
What a block by Richardson coming over. Now she leads the show in transition. Finds Brown, who runs the floor and feed the big player when she's moving. There's transition points for Duke. Let's see if Richmond can counter. Budnick is wide open, but Mair balls it.
Watch the Blue Devils here. There's the block right there by Richardson, and they turn this into offense on the other end. The big girl running the lane, rim to rim. Kennedy Brown laying it in for the easy 2.
You got to reward the post players when they run the court.
You do.
Kennedy Brown did shoot a couple of threes in the exhibition. Instead, dumps it downstairs. And a turnover here for Donovan. That's 6 early turnovers for the true freshman, who has shown flashes of brilliance and some moments of learning in game 1.
And those moments of learning will continue through the first part of the season. It's a big learning curve for young players, sideline, middle.
It'll especially become a learning curve when the USA women's national team comes to town next week.
That's going to be a fun day for folks in Durham.
It's actually this Sunday. It'll be a neat opportunity. Dugan open, rattles out the 3. Second chance in, good board by Budnick.
Little screener action up there, but the offensive rebound. Budnick's going to get her points one way or another. She's working the glass now. Inside.
Oh, nice double team from Richmond and a steal. So the Duke turnover woes continue. That's 14. Townsend operating 1v1. A Richmond team where all 5 guards can shoot. Looking for a nice option. Here's the 3. It still rattles out. Nice look, though. And a foul against Townsend. And that's the type of shot that Siobhan Ryan would like. 3rd team all A10. Wide open look.
Richmond's starting to get the shots that they want. The ball's moving. It's moving at the cadence that they're starting to get a little bit comfortable. They're just not falling for them right now.
4 of 16 from deep. And Richmond made just under 9 3-pointers a game last year. Mair, a little 1v1 with Brown. And the Boston College transfer rattles it out. Fights for her own board. And a jump ball keeps possession here.
The Blue Devils continuing to dominate the rebounding battle.
They have been scrappy.
They really have. It was 21-12 at the half, and 12 of Duke's 21 rebounds were on the offensive, 9 of their rebounds were on the offensive side of the ball.
Richmond letting Brown shoot this. That one rattles out. Kennedy only made a handful of threes last year as the junior. And here are the Spiders' first 3 minutes, having moments to cut this closer to 10. Budnick comes up short.
Budnick just not having her best day. That was a nice step back off that stagger screen. A great read.
Mair rattles in the floater. So 8 points for the BC transfer.
Grace Towson is doing a nice job getting the ball inbounds quickly against the press.
Good shot fake, Budnick, and that's where she's special with the left hand.
You see her versatility. She's like, it's not going down for me from behind the arc, so let me put it on the floor. And that was all started by Grace Towson, the senior, who got that ball down court off the inbound quickly.
Addie Budnick, who's in the top 20 all-time in Richmond career scoring. Karen Elsner, who scored 2,300, is the Richmond record holder from 15 years ago.
And Budnick's on the Katrina McLean watch list. 20-player list, best power forward in the country. That's big kudos to her for that.
Brown operates against Budnick, and a good block on the backside. Richmond would love to run here, down 14. Open three. Still can't knock one in. With a tussle for the boards, Duke comes out with it.
But wow, are they getting the looks they want?
That was 3 or 4 open triples in this half for Richmond. Richardson knocks that one in.
Reigan Richardson says, enough of this, give me the ball. She's having a great game.
15 points for Reigan. What a nice effort. We noted the loss of Balagoon and Taylor, and it's who's going to become that lead scorer. Today it's Reigan Richardson.
Horn set. Run that fade screen play again. Well guarded by Duke.
Hill blows by her defender, and Brown cleans it up like trash duty on a Monday. Nice pass to Jackson. Better ball movement. And Duke knocks in the 3.
Great extra pass. Way to share the basketball, and timeout, Richmond.
Duke starting to pull away, hitting open shots. And we'll take the timeout. The Blue Devils finding their rhythm.
The offensive end, she's getting it done on the defensive end, but you see she can score in a variety of ways. She's got a great pull-up. She can knock it down behind the arc, and she can take you off the dribble, get to the rim, knock it down off the pull-up. She's just so versatile, but really a great sign for Blue Devil fans that she's really stepped up. 18 points, 8 for 11, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. A great game so far.
And with big losses of Celeste Taylor and Balagoon and company, it was, where's that primary scoring coming from today? It's Richardson. Richmond, meanwhile, can't buy a bucket. 4 of 18 from deep.
I'm sure at that timeout, Coach Lawson told her Blue Devils it's time to pick up the intensity on defense. We're not disrupting them like we were in the first half. And there you go, a forced turnover.
And that's an illegal screen leading to immediate timeout. Break.
A lot of speed on the Blue Devil team and a lot of quick hands on defense. You close the gap up there. You create the turnover, the beautiful pass ahead. Reigan Richardson, 2 of her 18. Block on the defensive end. Gets the transition going again. The Blue Devils creating a lot of offense with their defense. And who else but Richardson with the finish.
This Duke defense has caused a ton of problems for Richmond today. Setting up their play in transition. Now a 19-point difference. Open 3, Richardson continues the red-hot start. Give her 21.
Why not? She's feeling it. Feed the hot hand.
It's like at the blackjack table. Just keep feeding, double down. There's a kick out, Ben Arsdale. Great shot fake. Budnick needs this one. And the prayer is answered. Big 3 for Richmond.
Really, really nice ball movement. This is a great game defensively for the Blue Devils to have to play because there'll be a lot of lessons learned from the film. Richmond does a great job sharing the basketball.
That's Richmond's first 3 since early in the second quarter. It's been a long time coming.
5 for 19 right now. They had a lot of wide open looks to start this second half. 26%.
Whoa, look at that nifty finish. Taina Mair, welcome to Duke.
Got to take away the baseline drive. Mair's so quick.
Speaking of speed, here's Van Arsdale, a triple jumper and a sprinter in high school, and she draws the foul. And talk about good point guards. We just saw Van Arsdale. How about this move?
Here's Mair, the transfer from Boston College. She sets it up with a little jab step middle, up and under.
Onions, English. I think she's crazy how to figure out how that play happened.
Got a big smile on her face about that one. She
I want
loved
to see
it.
the replay, Kara. Keep me in there. As Van Arsdale can't hit the free throw.
That's only Richmond's third free throw of the day. Just another sign of frustration.
Neither team's been to the line a ton. This is the 8th combined free throw for both. And Budnick fights for the board.
Now, Budnick's shot may not be falling, but you can see how she
Oh, look at
impacts
the presence of Emsbo with a tip. Now she runs the court, begging for the ball. Oh, feed the post. Dugan's working hard down low for Richmond defensively. I will say this crew with D. Cantner letting them play today. Very physical. Richardson. Oh, she can't be stopped in the second half.
And you just gave Richardson too many options there. You have to make her use that screen. If you don't make her, she's going to go left.
Oh, how about Van Arsdale with the N1? The Hampton transfer making her presence felt in her first game here at Richmond.
I mean, she was Big South Freshman of the Year at Hampton. You can see how quick she is with the ball. Hangs on to it, finishes it. She's talented, and she had a knee injury her junior year and is coming back full strength. 1,000-point scorer at Hampton.
That's a sixth-year, 23-year-old. That's a lot of basketball being played. Oh, wait. The officials are going to change the call here. It'll stay with Richmond. Courtney Robinson with the catch.
Spiders are not out of this one. Any team that shoots the three the way they can, we haven't seen that yet today, but we know they can connect them together and get really streaky. But any team that can shoot the three like Richmond can get themselves right back in this thing.
And Arsdale back to it. Duke has shielded off these guards really well.
Duke's defense is back to swarming again. They're taking away the straight line drives.
Shot clock down to 4. Late in the clock, Dugan. That's a good look, but couldn't hit. And Van Arsdale wants the charge. Instead, gets the travel. So Richardson gives it away. Interesting.
Van Arsdale is the consummate pest.
She's like a cockroach. You just can't put her away.
5'3", right there. Oh, and that's an interesting call right there. I don't think.
Is that the drag of the pivot foot? Is that the travel?
I mean, maybe that was tough to see from up here, but nonetheless, Spiders ball. Chance to cut into this 21-point lead.
Delaney Thomas was actually on the court, so the ref said, please get off so we can play 5-on-5. It feels like Duke has 6 defenders. It's been a tight defense today. Number 2 scoring team in the country last year. And a turnover forced there. Bad pass for Budnick.
Richmond's just continuing to try to feed the low post, and it just has not been successful for them today. Duke doing a great job getting around, moving their feet, covering it up.
Duke has limited the turnovers in this second half, only 3. Here's Richardson, who's done everything today. Now to Emsbo. Nice little give. Offensive board. Step through and bangs it in. Nice move. Okananwa is fun to watch down low.
We haven't said Oluchi Okananwa in a while, but there she is again, adding 2 more to her total in her first game in Cameron.
Can I buy a vowel? There's a drive, Van Arsdale. That one rattles out. And Okananwa gets back to it. Nice time to Richardson, who runs the floor. Way to feed the post player.
The Blue Devils are now firing on all cylinders, widening the gap. Spiders are going to have to get the tempo of this game under control. And you see Van Arsdale slowing things down a little bit.
That's
double high
12
post.
fast break points for Duke, and they are living in transition. A reach-in foul here.
Right there. Look at that hustle on the glass.
Does she have a
the up
magnet
and
for the
under.
ball or what?
She's just got great instinct to play this game.
And then a better pass here.
And off to the races again. A beautiful lead pass to the basket.
Good drive by Dugan. And banks it in. That's a nice shot from the All-Conference A10 product.
And that's a good read against Emsbo. Get the taller player on the perimeter. And that's what Richmond's able to do with you with their multiple guards on the floor. Pull the big men out. attack him off the dribble. Three's not falling.
Richardson can't be stopped. 28.
She needs to save some for the rest of the season. Wow.
Her career high was 17, and that's being shattered.
Wow.
Here in game one.
He said she transferred in from Georgia last season, averaged 21 minutes a game, was more of a role player and played some great minutes, but wow, what a debut.
Oh,
this
look,
season.
Richardson's open. If you're a coach, feed the hot hand here. Okananwa says, I'm pretty hot too. Loose ball, out to Richardson. Look at the ball movement. Duke to Emsbo. Now that is great passing.
Beautiful extra pass by the sophomore Ashlyn Jackson. We haven't said her name a lot today. And another All-American player on this Duke roster.
Duke's moving the rock in this third quarter like the Iowa Hawkeyes, best passing team in the country last year. What's changed in this third quarter for Duke?
I think they've gotten the pace to pick up. They've gotten Richmond playing a little bit more of a frenetic pace, but they're getting it done with their defense, and they're turning their defense into offense. So now they got the crowd behind them. You got excitement on the bench. You got freshmen who play with a lot of energy and passion. Coach Lawson's excited.
And a career night for Reigan Richardson, who will sub out. That is a well-deserved round of applause. Here's an open three for Olstrom. Richmond just can't buy a bucket from deep. What a save by Townsend. But throws into the kids.
Great hustle. Great hustle by the senior.
Richmond gears up for Delaware State at home this weekend. Still a lot to take out of this game if you're Richmond, despite what should be a loss coming up.
Well, if you're looking at it versus last year, it's major progress. Their shooting was 5 for 20 from behind the arc. It's a very different game if Richmond knocks down a few more of these, but you really got to credit the Duke's defense and their transition ability. Double high screen, that's an illegal screen.
A lot of movement there on the pick.
Can't roll on top of her like that, Emsbo.
And that was the new emphasis in college basketball about 2 years ago, to watch those moving screens. I know coaches always gripe about certain things officials watch for, but that is a point of emphasis this year. Townsend on the move late in the clock and bangs it off too strong. The Duke Blue Devils.
4 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and only 1 turnover. Doesn't get much better than that.
It's been about 5 years in the history of quarters in women's college basketball, but none better in that third than Reigan Richardson as we have a reach-in foul here on Duke. She's 2 points away from 30, and we'll see if Reigan gets any run time in the fourth quarter. 6 newcomers for Duke. And Debbie, these next 9 minutes could be big for the development of some of those freshmen and transfers for Duke.
Well, if you can keep this margin wide, you can get some players to get some extra minutes. For Richmond, they want to play well here. They want to knock down some shots, run their offense, play better defense. And that's not the answer right there, but great hustle to keep that ball alive by Grace Townsend.
Clock to 2. Townsend heaves. Just off. It's been the story for Richmond. 5 of 21 from deep.
Duke has just really forced the Spiders into tough shots, tough contested shots.
Jackson comes in and misses the 3. The ball movement from Duke has been much better in the second half. 25 points in that third quarter. That's a name you got to watch for in the ACC coming up. Oluchi Okananwa. What a debut.
Well, and 14 assists for the Blue Devils, too, which is nice to see. You want to see your shots assisted. Duke did a great job last season sharing the basketball. Unselfish play. Tell you that your offense is really clicking on all cylinders. Another deflection.
Siobhan Ryan gets it back, steps through the lane and lays it in. Nice finish.
Siobhan Ryan, another one of those seniors. She's really one of their best shooters. She started all 31 games last year. She had 7 threes against Ball State. She can really knock it down, but today held to only 2 points.
Well, Richmond switches into a zone, so Brown lets it fly. A bit strong. That is an emphasis for Duke this year, letting Kennedy Brown shoot more from the outside and expand her range.
It's not her forte, but if she can hit that, that's really going to open up the backside of the defense for the Blue Devils.
7 different players have scored for Duke today. Wow, look at Townsend blow by, but missed the layup. A little bit rushed.
I think she was surprised how open she was, and she turned an easy lay-in into something a little bit too fancy.
And that's been a hard story for Richmond today. Every shot contested.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were waiting for Kennedy Brown to be back there, but she blew right by her. Staying in the zone.
Right in the middle of it, Donovan. That's just too easy, but a miss. Flying in for a rebound, and Jaden draws the foul. 6 turnovers part of the story for Jaden, but her tenacity and hustle has been on full display.
Well, that's going to be the freshman. Beginning of the season, freshmen are going to ride the wave. And, you know, she had 20 points and 9 rebounds in the exhibition against Wingate. You know, she's ranked number 3 in the country. She's one of ESPN's top impact freshmen. But she's got the effort there, you know, and you see her ability, and you let her catch that ball in the free throw line in the middle of that zone and let her operate. She's pretty dangerous.
Kara Lawson noted she'll be dynamic against any opponent, offensive and defensively. Just the learning curve that'll come.
And she's such a nice young lady. She's got such a sparkle and just high motor, plays hard, wants to learn. She's going to just continue to get better. And that long build, look at that wingspan.
Making life tough for opposing guards.
Nice coverage on that back cut by Ashlyn Jackson.
Speaking of wingspan, good pressure from Kennedy Brown. Olstrom drives in and gets the foul. So that is Emma Cable getting her first minutes out of Ontario, Canada.
Good job by the Spiders. Pull Cable, 5'11", to the perimeter. Take her off the dribble baseline. Let's see if the Spiders can convert a couple free throws here. 1 for 5 today from the free throw line. It's a team that shot 74% from the free throw line last season.
A Richmond team who's played big opponents, scrimmaged at Virginia Tech, and Aaron Russell noted that's a huge experience for our team. Now, playing Duke in the regular season is one thing, but now Richmond's set for any opponent coming up the next 2 months.
Well, he's got a special team this year, and he's got seniors who have been with him, know the system. He's got a great supporting cast, and this is, you know, he went to the second round of the WNIT last season, the semifinal of the Atlantic 10 tournament for the first time since 2009. So he knows he's got a group, and he wants to test them early. And they had a lot of tests last season, too.
Rachel Olmstrom for a second free throw and hits that one. Even though the score is a 26-point difference, doesn't tell the whole story of this game. Richmond very competitive in that first half. Brown looks to operate and takes the extra step. So Duke with 17 turnovers.
Spiders have done a really nice job limiting Kennedy Brown down low. I mean, 6'3". She's one of the bigger bodies on the floor. She's usually good around the rim. Only 4 points on the day.
Duke last year right in the middle of the ACC in turnovers. That'll be something to watch. Good pass by Van Arsdale. Another missed 3. Good look for Dugan.
Wide open one. Got the shot they wanted.
Okananwa gets in the lane. Good step through, and she banks it in. Wow, this freshman's electric.
She's got such a quick step. I mean, she catches and attacks and slices and dices her way through.
She's Chef Gordon Ramsay making a dessert. That's fun to watch with her getting after it. Nice down low look, and the lay-in for Olstrom. This Richmond cutting ability is something unique to watch in college basketball.
That was a great backside cut, and you cannot get face cut like that. And then you see the Richmond players, they all pass the ball so well. Staying in the 2-3 zone. 26-point differential. There's the flash cut to the high post. Way too easy for Jaden Donovan, but she's unable to convert. Here come the Spiders.
It's a Richmond team that won 21 games last year, brings 9 of the top 10 players back. A ton of experience, including Budnick, one of the best in the A-10. It's been a slow night for Addie. That time she goes to the post move.
And that's what she can do to you. She can knock it down from outside, but she can also take you down low. She can put it on the floor. Such a great piece of the puzzle for Richmond.
Addie Budnick is the queen pin of the Richmond program, according to Coach Russell. Here's an open 3. And a reach-in foul. Olstrom grabbing Brown on that rebound. That's where Duke has really flexed its muscle on the offensive glass.
Hey. You see this nice kick out. It's just a little hesitation, a little jab step, and then she goes, Okananwa goes right to the rim with she makes it look easy. That was not easy. That was fairly hard, and she just makes it look so easy. She's had a great debut in Cameron.
Here's a tussle for the rock, and possession will stay here. season opener, both teams with a feeling out process. And that was most of the first quarter. Duke has since settled in offensively, and Richmond has had open looks, just not able to convert some big threes in that third quarter.
I mean, Richmond's taken 22 threes, which is par for the course for them, but making 5 is not typically what happens. We said they shot 35% from behind the arc last year. Just struggling today to connect.
Nice kick back. Mair open. This is the 3. Little offensive board. This girl is so tough in the paint. Wow, Okananwa back to it with a second chance.
I mean, the maturity of the freshman, she's putting on a show.
Top 30 freshmen in the country coming in for Duke and really making her presence felt on the boards. Then Arsdale sizes up Mair. This is a fun matchup of guards. Then Arsdale sneaks in, and the smallest player on the court heads to the free throw line.
Van Arsdale almost trying to will her team to score, trying to take matters into her own hands because nothing's falling for the Spiders.
This Richmond team battle-tested Delaware State, a good Gardner-Webb program that won the Big South last year. And this is all over the country. Maine, Drake, D.C. with American. I love the scheduling of Richmond. Battle all different conferences early before A-10 play really gets started. That's the start of January against VCU.
Crosstown rival.
Now that is a fun rivalry. Divides the whole city of Richmond. Van Arsdale played at Hampton, actually battled Richmond during her Hampton days, and that impressed Coach Roussel when she was available in the portal this summer. Duke portal as well. Mair has come in from Boston College. Making her presence felt.
Nice defense on that ball screen by the Spiders. Once again, the sweet spot against the zone. That ACC is where you want to get the ball. It opens so many options.
The ball movement's impressive. 15 assists on those 30 buckets. Dugan looks to create some space. Dugan's fighting hard, just not able to hit some of those open looks. Gets her own board and then lost it. Here's where the speed of Okananwa. Let's see if she can find an option. Instead, calls her own number and heads to the line. We will take the timeout. Duke rolling in this women's basketball opener. It's a Duke staple here in the middle of the fourth quarter every time we touch, and you see those students all over Durham. They're having a blast.
Blue Devil teaching them a little bit of Duke culture.
And I like the itsy bitsy spider on top too.
It's always crafty, isn't it?
Always opponent driven. Right now Duke has uncoiled this web, which is the Spiders really distributing the rock well. 15 assists. Reigan Richardson, who had a fantastic third quarter, has been on the bench since. And now the young guns get some minutes.
All these minutes in non-conference play, especially like Duke, not as big of a roster as last year. So many players last season to sub in and out. Getting these young players and new players minutes.
With Vanessa De Jesus not available for this game and for the foreseeable future, really only 10 available on the roster. It's important to get all 10 some time.
Yeah, and Coach Lawson telling us, they need to know our defensive schemes and know where their spots are in the offense, and it takes a little while to learn. A little isolation play there.
Nice defense. This is a talented freshman, Okananwa. Throws it ahead, and Mair lays it in.
Okananwa has been dominating, and the motor just continues to go on both sides of the ball.
Those two guards could be a special tandem.
I mean, the quickness.
We also see for Duke, Jordan Wood out of Chicago, Illinois, getting her first minutes.
Duke's done a great job just defending that wing pin down screen.
Off the pick, open three, and a little off there. Duke in the second half has opened up its transition play a little bit. Cable on the drive. Oh, nice pass. And Emsborough converts it.
Emma Cable from Ontario. She's on the U19 Canadian national team. She's a sophomore, her second season at Duke. That was a beautiful dish.
That vision, and Kara Lawson noted that, wanted her players to move without the ball really well. We're seeing a lot more of that in the second half.
Cable only played in 4 games last season, so she's going to get a lot more time this year, more valuable minutes.
Budnick would love this one to end her night. That's a good three.
Oh, she needed that one.
Started 2 of 6 from deep. One of the best players in the A-10.
Said she averaged 14 points a game last season. Right now, over her average, but it has not been easy for Addie Budnick.
Here's Emsbo down low. Oh, the passing to Wood, who will head to the line for her first career Duke points.
It's exactly what you want to do. When that ball goes into the low post and the double team comes, you want to dive from the weak side, and you see nice drive down the middle. What a beautiful dish. Great team basketball right there.
It's like a chef handing out orders in the restaurant, just dishing left and right and hanging it up. That's impressive passing. As Richmond will sub out the starters. That is the first career point.
Jordan Wood at 6'4". She's from Chicago, another member of this talented freshman class.
First 2 career points for Jordan Wood.
Pretty free throw.
And now this pressure from Duke. Kara Lawson noted she wants to run this press all year long, even with 10. Richmond with a lot of new faces on the court. Grace Townsend re-enters. Nice kick out. And that time an open three. Siobhan Ryan hits it.
One of the first times tonight that the Spiders have been able to string together three-point shots, all created by Grace Townsend.
I see what you did there. Spiders string it together. Uncoil one. As Wood misses the three. This girl is everywhere on the glass. Oh, no way! Okananwa's having a night.
Wow.
I don't even know where the angle was on that shot. Speaking of good guard play, there's a miss on the tough drive. Get it back to number 5 in the white. Instead, Wood lost it as we hit the 2-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Duke will get set to host Coastal Carolina here on Thursday, and then the U.S. women's national team on Sunday.
Duke's won 46 home openers in a row. Looks like they're well on their way to 47. Nice post up there.
Siobhan Ryan hits the layup. Not the 100-point scoring effort Duke put up at Richmond last year, but the offense has really clicked in the second half.
With all the new bodies that the Blue Devils have on their roster, it's a pretty nice first game. I think the coaching staff for Duke is going to be really happy with what they saw today from their team.
Mair is poked from behind on the way in. We noted part of the Duke schedule, but the real contests come up at the end of November, at Stanford, at Georgia, the SEC, ACC Challenge, and then hosting top 10 South Carolina. This is a fun non-conference slate.
Well, it's when you're going to really see what your team is made of. It's a long, long non-conference season. You'll learn a lot. These young players are going to learn an awful lot.
As Lewandowski turned it over. It's Kylie Lewandowski, the senior guard.
I like Coach Russell letting his players get an opportunity to play as senior on the court in Cameron.
And what a moment, too, for Richmond. Playing in a big environment. A team that made the NIT last year. This is a good experience, regardless of the score.
Second round in the NIT. They're going to have a great season in the Atlantic 10.
Now in the final minute of this fourth quarter. Cable gets some space and a nice block for Lewandowski. Oh, Okananwa, she is everywhere like a pest, fighting for it. Still no whistle. Wow, playing to the final 30 seconds.
Let's get a 30-point lead, and that motor just does not stop.
And that's a 10-second violation, which will make that woman a happy camper. And that one. Okananwa has no quit in her. There's 36 seconds left in a blowout. She's still playing.
Well, we talked about efficiency for Richardson, but Okananwa is 22 points. She's 8 for 11 from the floor, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. And get this, 11 rebounds, 22 and 11 for the freshman in her first game in Cameron. Wow.
And the points keep coming for Duke. 9 of the 10 have scored, all but Jackson today. Open three. That's been the story for Richmond. Tough look, second chance, and a foul will send Melissa Mwanza out of Zimbabwe to the free throw line.
She played her high school basketball here in the States at Life Christian Academy, but originally from Zimbabwe. She's 6'2" freshman for this Richmond team. They have a talented freshman class themselves, but right now really not needed because these upperclassmen are so seasoned. And
with 7 upperclassmen that all played major minutes. You're right, Debbie. These are big minutes for the freshmen.
Run in front of her.
Carol Lawson, ABC, always be coaching to the last seconds. As this board should wrap things up. The Duke Blue Devils, led by a couple of stars, Okananwa and Richardson, dominate in this 23 season opener. The Duke Blue Devils, for the 47th straight time, secure a home opening win here in Cameron in a dominant second half.